in a mood. What is up, Alex? How are you?
How you doing, Dirk? I'm good.
It's just another day. It's been raining most of the day here today, but it's been dry the last couple of days before that. Thank goodness. What about down there?
Same story here.
All right. Looks like we got Luck Knives in the house and CPM if he's still around. I know
Everybody
he
know he
tuned
was
in
first.
Yeah, CPM was first, like before me and before you. So that puts Luck at number 2.
Sweet.
So
anyways,
before we dive into what we're going to talk about, what were you carrying today?
actually, I was carrying something I carry pretty often, the Chupacabra from Casey.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
It is. It's just a good old, reliable, just nice custom knife that actually cuts stuff.
Yeah.
It's a great user and it's a great knife. So I carry this one quite often. It's always like a Jekyll and Hyde effect with it, which is what I like about carrying this one, because it's like almost 2 different knives.
So it is. And that one's a really good size, because I've had that one here at the house, and that's just a good size and all of that. So yep. I really liked that version of it. And then did you have a watch on today?
I did. I have the Moon Swatch. That's what I've been wearing today, the Omega Moon. But I'm still debating if this thing's real or not. I don't know, because I got like for market price, and I ordered it off some weird website off Facebook. So, but it was like actually below market. It was $200, and then I put some nice straps on it.
Okay.
From Strap
Derek
Code.
in the house. How are you, sir?
What's up, Derek? But yeah, so I want to lean towards that it's a fake, but I can't find anything to condemn it. It's
okay. I never got one. I held some. I wanted to get one. I still kind of want to get a Moon Swatch, just because I'm a pretty big Omega fan and I have several Omegas already. Mm-hmm. So I think it would be nice just to have one in my collection. I probably never wear it. But I kind of would like one, but I'm only going to pay regular price, and which is kind of a great segue into the discussion today. But just really quick first, I was carrying the RJ Martin Q36SS, which I just got back from Mr. Ed. When I sent him his knives back, I didn't tell him, but I threw this in because he doesn't have one. Nice. So he got to check it out for a week or so, and then he just shipped it back to me. I literally just got it back in the mail yesterday morning. He did the overnight UPS Saturday morning delivery thing, and then I'm sure this will be backwards, but I had the Rolex Air King on today.
Always a winner. I liked your video you did today on the watch collecting thing. I watched that.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, it's I agree. I have too much shit.
Steel, welcome. Glad you made your first live. That's great.
Yeah, welcome, man. We're glad to have
you. The watch video this morning was really true. I mean, I wear the Air King and I wear the Planet Ocean, and that's really about it. But I can't bring myself to sell the rest. And I don't know why exactly. Some of them I think and I'm sure we'll get more into this during today's topic of selling and all of that.
Right. We're
collectors. Like, we just collect.
And by the way, guys, this is going to be kind of an open forum one. So we're going to read your comments, and we're going to keep you guys involved in this one.
Yeah, please.
I know everybody's got an opinion on the subject.
Hey, Professor, how's it going, man? Hey, Professor, I sent you a message right before I went on the live. So if you didn't know, I responded to your previous messages, and we'll talk later. So we just collect stuff because we collect it. And sometimes we want to keep it because nobody else can have it.
For me, it's different. For me, it's
but
because those pieces each kind of tell their own individual story.
okay,
Not all of them.
I agree with that. There's a story to everything I own too, between watches and most knives, most watches. There's a story. I didn't just go shopping on Amazon and order. I mean, sure, my Casio World Timers, I just went on Amazon and ordered. But there's kind of a story because you modded them and people talked about them and their classics and things like that. So CPM says, I don't collect. I use them as hedges against inflation. Oh, boy. So we got the right crowd in here. And then this is a good comment too. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think his real name's Adam. He sent me an email earlier and we talked about the, he says, hey, Dirk, I was the one that let you know about the Q36 showing up at the retailer. I did not know the original drop price. Otherwise, I wouldn't have suggested. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a different guy. That's not Adam who emailed me earlier. Yeah, one of the RQ.
Well, don't feel bad, bro, because you know what? Yeah, we want to know about it. We want to know about it, regardless.
Exactly. So anyway, enough about my watch video this morning. Let's dive into what we really came here to talk about. So I dropped a video yesterday, talking head style like this, which seemed to go over pretty well. People kind of I mean, there's only a couple of comments about, hey, we like that format. But it was about secondary pricing. And I think I probably could have worked on the title a little bit because a lot of the comments were, it's supply and demand, it's capitalism. People can, yes. Like I did say in the video for anybody that actually watched the freaking thing, because some of the comments, they obviously didn't. If you have a one-off custom knife like this from Tim Gallion and you want to sell it for whatever price you want, 20 grand, 15 grand, I have no problem. No drama, no nothing. Same with Alex's arch nemesis there. That's right. Yeah. It's the arch nemesis from Brian Nadeau. If you want to sell that for whatever price you want, I have no problem. That is truly supply and demand. Where I had a problem, where I came at it from the video I did yesterday, was kind of brought on by Derek Stang, who is in the house from Stang Blade Works, who does a phenomenal job. I did one or two videos on his knives early on in my channel. Another friend loaned them in, and I was really impressed with them. And he's from Canada. Just a shout out because he happens to be in the room. He had done a video on secondary pricing from lottos and auctions and things like that. So I kind of had already been thinking about it, but it's really, if you're entering a lotto with the intent, if you win, to flip it for double plus profit, I take exception to that, and I think that's a D-bag move.
Yeah, you're a dick. So I'm not saying you're not allowed, but you're a dick.
That's the topic of tonight. So please chime in what your thoughts are in the comments so that we can read them and we can have some more kind of live discussion, because there was a lot of great comments on my video and there were some other perspectives that got me thinking, and it didn't change my mind. And then I did post it in 2 different Facebook groups. Alex's group, the Daily Knife and EDC Daily, I think is what it's called. I don't even remember exactly.
EDC Daily Carry.
Daily Carry. So I posted in there, and then I posted in another one that had a lot of comments and back and forth, and it started to get a little heated, not quite heated, but so I know it's a controversial topic, and
we're probably going to get nowhere tonight. We're probably going to get nowhere tonight, to be fair.
We're not going to get anywhere. There is no answer.
No.
But a lot of videos I do, it's not necessarily with only my point of view. It's more of, thought-provoking topic. And I give sort of my opinion. I kind of just lay it out. And then I'm opening up the conversation and the dialogue. So there's the premise. Right. What do you think, Alex? You watched the video, I hope.
Yep.
And all of you guys in the comments, if you watched, let me know. Give the thumbs up, like this video. There's the link to that video is in the comments. It actually did really well. I got like triple the views that I usually get. So I guess something worked. So what's your take, Alex?
Well, there's a lot of different aspects to this answer because people feel and look at things differently from wearing different shoes, having different budgets, having different abilities to acquire certain things. And sometimes people have hyped and built an object up so high that the emotion has totally surpassed your actual thought process to the whole thing. Now you're emotionally invested in the thing, and when you get a letdown, it just burns your knickers, right? There's that aspect to it. There's also the aspect of, like we talked about, like something really unusual and something of a one-off, right? And when it comes to that, I think that's a bit of a different story because it just all depends now on like supply and demand. I think supply and demand has a lot to do with what, people decide to charge as far as pricing is concerned. But, how hard was it to get? How much did it cost initially? And honestly, it's the overall, premise of the item currently as it holds. In other words, like, is it really a popular item to have? Is it the hot thing to have? The thing that I think really pisses people off the most is, like you mentioned, when people are hardcore collectors or people who are maybe new even to the product, I think become a little bit more emotional because they're getting into this the first time, or even perhaps, maybe budgets in mind. Maybe I have a bunch of knives, but maybe it took somebody a long time to acquire something like this. I'm not gonna lie, a Holt Spectre, this took me 3 years to get one. It wasn't even a money thing, it was just to get the opportunity to purchase one. Now, there were opportunities in between, don't get me wrong, and no hate for market, but I just choose not to participate in certain aspects of it. So whereas I could have bought one of these easily for $1,500 all day long for all 3 years I was looking for one, I refused to do that. As a matter of fact, I went down, I paid, I think, $1,100, and that was to actually somebody I personally knew that I went and picked up from one of my friends. And I was okay with it because I'm kind of funding my friends' collecting habits anyways. So
yes,
I was a little bit more, willing to do that at that time. And they were still very hard to get at the time, and they were still going for big money for plain ones, right? And then eventually I waited till, I got one at $750, the price that they're supposed to go for. Took a long time, but I got this one at normal price. The other one I paid a little bit more for, but I flipped that one because I didn't need to. And so I think, like, when it comes to those sorts of things, or people going to shows and like literally are going there to like flip for some cash, how can you really tell them they can't? You really can't. It's every right to do.
Yes.
But they look like a fucking dickhead doing it, to be honest with you. And that's my opinion.
That's my opinion. So let's see what some of the folks here have to say. First off, we've got Matthew, who says, I just got his Stang, and I still swear I can't pronounce the model number, his Stang Bladeworks knife in yesterday, and he's blown away so far. It's a great knife. Yes, that's Pyrenees? One of the ones. Pyrenees? I don't know.
Pyrenees. Like the Pyrenees Mountains?
Sure. I butchered it during my video too. But, whatever. But that one is a cool one. And mine that I got to borrow, it almost felt like the texturing on the scales almost felt like rubberized almost. It wasn't, but that's kind of how I could equate it to. A super cool knife.
Yep. And as Steel Oven mentioned, the Holts are now down to about like 1K, right? So you see how the market is dropping on them.
Because they were going
that is something to consider
for like $2,000.
Yeah, 1,500-1,600 for Play-Me.
Yeah, they were going hardcore. I had one. My brother won a drop or something and got one for 808, 826, whatever it was. List price, straight from them. He sold it to me for same price. Several months later, I sold it for a bit of a profit and I split it with my brother. I literally, sent half of whatever I made over that to my brother, and it sold in like 10 minutes because I priced it right and I just wasn't going to play the games. I just sold it. So CPM says here, oops, that's not the right one.
I saw that one. And
CPM says price is not value. Price is a reflection of sentiment.
It can be. It can be. That is something I'd mentioned to Dirk. Like some of these pieces have a story behind them. That's where the emotion comes around. And like for the perfect example for me, as far as he's mentioning that, is I had my first Jim Skelton it's a little finger that he made for me. And it was a knife that he did these zombie blood scales. It was really cool. It was the first knife I ever acquired from Jim before him and I really became buddies. Mm-hmm. And then Sid, who's a hardcore collector of Skelton Blade Works, offered me triple that. Right. And it took like 3 or 4 days for that to happen. So he overpaid it after I kept saying, no, I'm not selling it. No, I'm not selling it. No, I'm not selling it. And I finally gave in because, because it was literally like too much money. And I know it was going to a good home. So,
yeah. And I too have overpaid for something, but I knowingly overpaid. It was coming from Jim. It was a knife that I had to have, and it fit my collection really super well. And when he sold it, I had to have it. It didn't matter what it cost, and I bought it. So, yeah, I think we've all done that. And EDC for fun, thanks for listening. I know you're listening, watching your kids, but I appreciate that. Yep. CPM wants to know if you take is it Dogecoin? Dogecoin? I don't know.
It's Dogecoin. Yeah.
Dogecoin. Do you take that because he wants your arch nemesis?
Yeah, that currency is crashing like crazy, buddy. No thanks.
I got a ton of Dogecoin. They just sit there. I don't even look at that crypto crap anymore.
I wanted to show that Stang one. So I think this is actually like something that is a really good thing. Yeah. This is actually how I personally treat those situations. I don't entertain it and I don't participate it.
Yeah. So Derek Stang from Stang Blade Works is saying if we don't want to see the overpriced and the people flipping and stuff like that, the best way to handle it is just vote with your dollar. Just don't pay that double. Sometimes the FOMO, the fear of missing out, especially like what started my whole video and my whole thought process was over the RJ Martin Shirogorov collaboration, the RQ36. And they've done collaborations before that, but that one was very appealing to me. I entered the lotto. I didn't get picked, whatever. You can say that I'm just off here bitching and complaining. Okay, whatever. But I didn't buy it. I had an opportunity to buy one at like $500 over and I didn't. And I'm not going to spend $3,000 and more like they are today because it's a cool knife. Mr. Ed, a friend of the channel, sent one in and I got to handle it. He also sent in a previous collaboration between RJ Martin and Shirogorov in this soft overkill with aftermarket scales. And we'll just say that, I sent him back 5 knives when he sent me 6 because he let me buy this one from him. And quite frankly, I kind of liked it a little bit better than the RQ36. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you don't like the double price, if you don't like that stuff, get rid of the fear of missing out and just don't buy it.
Yep. That's pretty much where it's at. Here's a knife talking about Kurt American knives. I've noticed that too. Yep. From 1,100, now they're like close to $3,000 in some spots, which is the reason why I'm not selling mine. But yeah, makers get popular, prices go up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this box that I acquired many years ago at prices that you would never find today.
Yeah, Adamas says he saw my video. It was a great video, Dirk. You and I had conversations via the comments and emails. So yeah, I do appreciate that. I thought for the most part, all the comments were pretty civil, not just from you, but just in general. And it was great. I don't know why. I got lucky with that video and the topic. So.
Yep. But in the end, as Byron had mentioned, it is true capitalism, supply and demand. It just really goes down to it, and if it's something where you guys feel like sometimes like me and Dirk do, where we're like, oh, what a butthole, man, then you're like, don't participate in it. And the thing is my segue to this is that don't get too emotional and wrapped up in like this one holy grail knife that you have to have, because there's so many knife makers out there that you might find something even better for less money. You never know.
Yes.
All I'm saying is go to South Africa on the internet, not literally.
Dude, you get the best bang for your buck. I want to say pretty much hands down, you're getting the best bang for your buck from some of the South African makers over the American makers. Not that the American makers aren't getting good value and stuff like that, but a lot of times you're getting more exotic materials, more handwork and stuff from South Africa than a lot of the US-based makers. As a general statement. I know.
Not all of them. Not Casey.
Not all. I mean, there's some great American makers, not just
for the
Derek
general, yes.
Here, but Casey from Old Dominion Knife Works, he does some great stuff and his prices are reasonable. So there still are some great US makers as well.
Yes, there are. You just got to look around. You just can't get all stuck in the hype and the catalogs of Blade HQ and Knife Center.
Wilson, hello. Craig G, hello.
But if you do look in Knife Center and you're trying to like educate yourself, you're a bit newer with collecting knives, there are some crazy custom knives there. And you might see something that's like, oh, look, you got a Cosi Steam Camp in Knife Center. But don't just stop there. Keep searching, because chances are that's probably a $150 to $200 markup more than most other stores. Whereas you can go to Blade Gallery and other places and find a better deal on those types of knives. Another place I've been loving to frequent is African Custom Knives. There's less likely of something for me to want to buy there because there's a lot of rough and handmade stuff there.
Yes.
But I love looking at it. Some of the like carved ivory bolsters that look like elephants, like you see some really wild knives on there. And I think it's good to look at all that stuff and go to these different sites, because then you start to get a better perspective of what you can actually get with your money, not just what you see on the Facebook groups is like, oh, here's my new flashy thing, right? And then even other good avenues is sometimes like I want a custom Eagle Rock, right? But now CKF makes a production variant of that knife, right, from Bob Terrazula. And I've really been considering buying that instead because of what the price range is on a custom ATC or something from Bob Terrazula is up there. And at some point you start to say, well, I could buy one, but do I want to? If there's this CKF one here that's got like a mirror finish practically, or hand satin, whatever, with all these zirconium bolsters, crazy carbon fiber. I mean, like, do you really always need the custom? Some people, yes, and sometimes not for me,
We don't need anything, but I understand your point. And David here says, the Baraja brothers, VI Knives, Victor and Sharknivko, which is Edison, have some very desirable pieces. Yes, and Edison and his wife Mariella are the two most amazing people in the knife community. They are very active on their Facebook group. They're super responsive. I do have a Ryu that is with them right now being spawed and whatnot. I cannot speak highly enough about them. And the brother Victor is also a super great guy.
Yes, he is. I got the pleasure of hanging out with Dirk and them at the show. I got to say, they're very, very classy. And the stuff they make, it's like, it's bulletproof, man. It's like a custom knife that you can hand down. Not all knives, believe it or not, I think are made to last for the long haul, like generations. But there are some out there that you're like, wow, I can see this, like my kid using this, you know?
Oh, yeah. My Ryu is one of his...
That'll be an interesting...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. That'll be an interesting conversation, CPM. I really am interested to see like exactly what we need to talk about. And Bob Terzula, by the way, is an old man starting to go blind. So his customs, I have not been as impressed. I know that is going to get fire, and he's like the grandfather of tactical knives. And have all the most respect for the old man, but he is getting old. I've seen quite a few of his recent customs, a few things that I'm like, maybe I want to buy a CKF. And
there's some truth to that. So I have a tattoo or two, right? And my original artist that did my back and my chest and some stuff way back in the day, world-renowned guy down in San Jose, California. He did one down on my stomach, the most recent one that he had done, which was also years back. He's old, getting blind. It was not, I mean, I love it. It's great, but his quality started to suffer a little bit. And he's since now passed away many years ago. And I have a new artist here in Napa, Daniel, who does a fantastic job and did both my sleeves. So yeah, I get that as you get older and you're working with your hands, the quality can start to slip.
Yep, absolutely it can, and that's still totally okay.
It is. That's just
I'm not saying
life.
He doesn't make bad knives, but at that price range, it starts to the value starts to look less appealing to me, because if I buy a knife from Bob and it's like, let's say $2,500, and I get it, and then it's got a problem, and I got to send it back, and then I get it, it's got a problem again, and I got to send it back. The CKF isn't going to have a problem, and I have like a bunch of knives, so unless that's a custom, I'm like totally hunting for, like perhaps like the non-flipper is a knife I've been after for years, or the rad cleaver, which may mean less to someone else. But those are the grail knives I've been kind of after over the years. And I might be willing to pay more than the next guy. And I think that's okay too sometimes, you know. But now we're talking about makers that are very hard and exclusive pieces to get. They're, you know, you can't just be like, hey, here's tons of money, make me a knife. Like, it doesn't work that way with some of these guys. So this stuff's hard to get and hard to find. But when you start seeing a lot of stuff at the lottos, and you're seeing Shirogorovs, and you're seeing things that are like, you know, yeah, there's only 100 today, but then there'll be a different color of the same thing tomorrow. There'll be 100 of those. And then, you know, they're double, tripling the sale price on those things, flipping them to you, say, hey, I'm going to do you a favor. This $1,100 Aqua, I'm just going to go ahead and be a friend. I'm going to sell it to you for $2,500. You know, like, you're like, come on, Dick. You know, like, it just, it's okay. But for me, I'd be like, pass. Even if I have the $2,500 to spare.
Yeah, for sure. DM, thanks for joining from Rio de Janeiro.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. We have international audience.
Very
I mean,
cool.
I guess we already did, because Derek is up in Canada. So that does count, but this is off continent, so that's even better. CPM, Bob is definitely deteriorating. I don't know why I can't say that word. CPM has a MagnaCut ATCF, and it's not his best work. So it's okay.
Bob, like 15 years ago, was at his prime. He had been doing it long enough to be like a master at it. It's just these last few, like, couple recent years, I want to say like last like 2 years, I just seen some things that he released from, because he does like a which I think is super cool, by the way. He's a custom knife maker that does a blade show on YouTube live, so you can buy the pieces from him. I think that's awesome because everybody gets a stab at it, right?
Yeah, that is cool. I've watched those before.
I love that. But since he's been doing that, those batches of knives around that era, I've seen a few have a few issues. Nothing that's not repairable, but
because it's more,
at some point I might look a different direction just for that very reason. That's just me.
Yeah, so Derek Stank says, I think there are two main viewpoints, talking back pricing, in the that dictate how people feel about it. A collector/community perspective and an investor/profiteer perspective. And there's room for both, but they are different. I think that's a great point, Derek. Yeah, I think that's a great point. And we as collector community folks, for the most part here, I mean, Derek's kind of profiteer because he's making a knife and selling it to make money. But
I think the word is enthusiast.
I think we're enthusiasts, and we're not in it for the investment. Same with watches. I mean, I have some higher end watches. Alex has some watches, the Rolex, the Omegas, the, whatever, Tudors. What else I got? Seiko, whatever. I didn't buy them as investments. I wear them. They get all scratched up. And if they have increased in value, that's great. But I didn't buy them and stick them in the safe, left them in the box or anything like that. I just wear them. And if they have appreciated over time, like the Air King, it has appreciated. I don't know, depending on what website you could look at, a couple of grand. I've had it since like 2020. So in 3 years, it's gone up a few grand. Okay, fine. I'm not planning to sell it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm not the guy that's going to be able to get a Rolex from a dealer or a sought-after Omega and just turn around and sell it the next day for more money.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying that that's a terrible thing if you do.
I think enthusiasts get more emotional about it, and that's why we get upset when we see like that. And it's not that I mind markup. I expect it. I just do because I know how things work. But I think sometimes there are some markups up there that some of us who have been collecting a really long time are like, well, you either think I'm an idiot or, yeah, you think I'm an idiot. I mean, it's just how I take that. It's like a slap in the face.
I agree.
And then I think the worst part, one thing we forgot to bring up too is, as Derek mentioned, there's another point of view too. There's the knife maker's perspective, right? So the fucker spends all his time and efforts and to sell his art, and then comes up with a price, okay, I'm gonna sell this knife for $1,500. Goes to the show, gets sold off the table, $1,500. 2 seconds later, walks over, sells it for $2,500 to someone else. Well, what the F? Like, who deserves the profit?
So that's a great question. And if Derek is still here, maybe he could chime in on that. And Derek is somebody that we do want to have on as a guest at some point, Derek. And I think we've talked about it a long time ago. But yeah, how does that make the maker feel when he sells the lotto piece for $1,500 to Alex, and Alex turns around and sells it to me? And I've seen it happen at shows right in front of the maker.
All the time.
I personally think is just rude. Go out in the back and do it in the parking lot 2 minutes after, not 10 seconds after. That's me. But Yeah, and I think, Luck, you nailed it. Yes, I have my donut varieties that I'm banking on going through the moon, going freaking skyrocket. That's my retirement plan, because I've got all 3 sizes. I got the lighter, I got the flashlight, I got like almost all the accoutrements. The stupid pry bar, I got rid of that. But yeah, I'm kind of over the donut thing. So if somebody wants all my donut stuff, let me know. Maybe I can cash in and retire. So CPM, what does he say here? He says, I'm in it because the dollar is going to crash and we're going to have currency crisis. Haha, just kidding.
You think it's going to be like an apocalypse and you're going to be using these things as like, like
barter and trade?
Yeah, man. Like I need some milk and I need like 50 gallons for what this costs.
Yeah, so
barter and trade.
Professor says, Professor EDC, secondary markets have always existed, both legally and illegally. In the end, it comes down to the buyer and how much he wants X item and how much he knows about that same piece. I agree. I mean, it really does come down, regardless of whatever pontificating Alex and I have, an Alexplation or a Dirkscussion about this item or this topic. It really comes down to how badly do you want it? I admitted earlier, I really wanted a knife. I overpaid for it.
I've done that too.
And it's okay. Again, for me, it's the intent of joining a lotto, hoping you win, or using bots to join, or whatever surreptitious means you have of getting that lotto piece, and then intending to sell it for profit. All right, so Derek chimes in a little bit, and I'm sure this is a tough question. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. It's a tough answer in a short comment, but it has its pros and its cons for sure. It's kind of a compliment and insulting at the same time. And that goes back to, hey, if a maker sells it in the lotto to Alex for $1,500, Alex turns around and sells it to me for $2,500, that's kind of a compliment to the maker that, wow, somebody was going to pay more, but it's also a little insulting at the same time. So I get it.
I need to put it at $2,500 on the table next time I get there.
And I think that does probably play into the makers. And they're like, okay, the next show, it's going to be not $1,500, it's going to be $1,800, or maybe my prices are too low and I should raise them. I don't know. But Derek, we'll get together and we'll get you on the show to really just talk about you and your new knives and how you're doing. Derek has a channel here on YouTube also, and he's done a lot of like behind the scenes type stuff in his shop. I think it's totally cool. Jason from VC Edge also does some behind the scenes stuff. And I love seeing that kind of stuff from makers. It's awesome.
I do too. Yep. I think that's awesome.
CPM wants to know, what's the price on that arch nemesis that you keep showing him, man?
What's the price?
There is no
price, man. There is no price.
There's no price.
This is another 3-year adventure of chasing, Brian down to get. And he almost didn't want to do this glow in the dark Rafir Noble. So
that's right. That's right.
It's I don't know. I mean, you can toss a number and I can think about it, but not likely.
Did I hear live auction here? Like live auction?
We got, can I get 2,500 once, 2,500 twice? Can I get 3,000 sold to CPM for $8,000?
Then you could go and try to get that non-flipper you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes the price is, yes, it kind of boils down to it's worth whatever somebody's going to pay. But my original video topic was more about the lottos and things like that, not just selling a one-off custom. Like, I mean, I've got my Grail knife.
Yeah.
The Frank Fisher Battle. Like, it was expensive. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I overpaid. I think I paid what it's worth, and I have no intent of selling it. Now, if I become homeless and destitute and, things like that, that is where. So I don't buy these as investment pieces. They're not. Knives, watches, they're really not investment pieces until you're going to lose your house. Then you may be able to get the money back that you put into it so that you can pay your rent, your mortgage, you know, whatever, right? I'm not in that position. At some point, I think we all have to have those conversations with ourselves. And I have. Mostly when I bought my Rolex, I sold a bunch of knives so that I could buy it because that was more important to me than the knives that I had. Right. So they're all kind of investments in some fashion. I know what value I have in all of these things and what I could probably get if I tried to sell some things to either buy a house, keep paying my house, you know, whatever the dire need is. Yeah, there is some intrinsic value there, but yeah, I don't know.
It's not a savings account.
It's not a savings account. It's just hey, I know I've got $10,000 worth of knives in the drawer. And if I needed $10,000 because of whatever emergency, I could try to sell them.
Right.
I have other means, but you know, you lose your job. You can't find a job. It's 6 months later and you've run through your savings. Well, then you got to start selling watches and knives or baseball cards or whatever collectible. Beanie Baby. I'll dig the Beanie Babies out of the garage. You know, I don't know. So Derek comes in with, it can definitely drive inflation when that stuff happens. But there is another side. A maker needs to sell a bunch of knives. A private seller only needs to sell one. Just because one person pays double doesn't mean everyone will.
That is a good point.
That's a great point. So yeah, just because Alex sold me that knife for $1,000 more than he bought it for right in front of the maker doesn't mean that the three people behind me would still spend that same amount. Which I think is a great point. Like I overpaid for that one I bought from Jim, but that was me. I don't know that everybody would have. Like, and I don't know that I've overpaid necessarily. That's probably not the right word. I don't want to upset anybody, but I paid a premium because Jim owned it. Jim had it on videos. It was Jim. Like, so to me, that added some value to it because of whose it was.
I'm laughing at CPM's comment right now.
Oh boy. Yeah, the banking here in the United States is gotten a little crazy. Like we've all heard of Silicon Valley Bank, right? We all heard that scandal, well, that drama last week. I heard about it also because my girlfriend's company banks there and had to deal with it. So I kind of heard about that side of it as well, not just what everybody heard in the news. So yeah, it's a real thing. It's a little scary times. And yes, this hard item that you have in your desk, yeah, there's something to be said for having that hard physical item, not just some number when you log into your banking app and it says you have whatever dollar amounts in there. Professor EDC, what do you got for us here? Circumstances play an important role in this. It's not the same to talk about this topic in the U.S. as it is in Mexico. And so on. In Argentina, for example, prices for any production knives are 100% more. I agree.
Yep.
I think that's a great point. What we're talking about here is U.S. stuff. Mexico, Argentina,
you got your own problems over there.
Germany, Ukraine, Russia, China, they all have their own things. And I can't even guess to explain how that's going over there. But maybe Professor EDC will do a video, maybe because I talked to him earlier, about this topic from his perspective down in Mexico. And yeah, you're not wrong, CPM. All the regional little banks and stuff it's a problem. Yes. Now it worked out fine for my girlfriend's thing. All their money was like, everything's fine. It worked out. There was a few days of whatever, but like, it's fine. They didn't lose any of their money, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all good. But yes. Not sure how we got onto that, but yeah. Oh, the savings accounts.
Savings accounts, remember?
We kind of rambled on there. So, yeah. But that's what we do here. We try to have a topic, but we kind of go with the flow, with the comments and the questions and the things like that. Because that's really what we're about, is kind of an open forum to just talk about stuff.
Yep, pretty much. But when it comes down to it, I don't participate in that bullshit, so don't be an ass.
Yeah, I try not to judge people, but when you enter a lotto and you flip it in before you even get it, like I said in my video,
I think we should bring more context though to the knives that we more like referring to when we're talking about this, like a Spyderco sprint run, like the Sleesh buoy. Like the Sleesh buoy. Remember the Sleesh buoy?
Mm-hmm.
When it got re-released at Knife Center or Knife Joy. And that turned into a big old mess too. Everybody got pissed because not everybody got one, and the website crashed. And I just waited like a champ. Just a day later, I paid like a $75 markup, and I had one.
Yeah, and the donut knives are a good example. Like, they're limited runs. The website crashes every freaking stupid time, so I gave up because, guys, it's not that hard to keep a website going with a million hits. Like, it's just not that hard. I do that. Like, it's not hard. And if they can't spend the time and energy to fix their website, I'm not going to try to buy their stupid knives anymore.
Dude, CPM is cracking me up today, man.
Yeah, he's kind of funny. But so really, again, this whole discussion on pricing and secondary is more for limited runs and lottos and for me, it's really the intent.
Yeah, because we're enthusiasts.
We're enthusiasts. And I was irritated by that RQ36 lotto. There was 100 of them, and at least 3 of them were sold Monday afternoon. They hadn't even shipped them yet because they drew the winnings on a Monday. And by that afternoon, 3 that I know of had already sold.
And to be fair, they've been making RJ Martin collaborations with Shiro for quite a few years.
Yeah, there's other ones.
There'll be more.
There's 2 soft overkills with micarta scales. This one originally came with a black micarta scales. There was a red micarta scale one before the black one. And then there was a full titanium, which I think was the overkill, which was a titanium one. So it's not like there won't be another one. And it's not like in a month, you could probably buy one of these last ones at about table price, list price, whatever you want to call it, because somebody's going to sell it. Like, yes, they're more valuable right now today. Give it a month. Yeah. Donut knives. You can't sell donut knives for $300 right now. They're selling it like a little premium. You know, I think they're a $50 knife. You probably get them for $75, $80. But when the hype was happening, a day or 2 later, yes, people were literally paying $300 for a donut knife.
I think they did it the same with a lot of other stuff. I think, but I still give it to CPM's got the best donut theme knife out there.
Dude, yeah, he goes, the CPM says, yeah, the donut thing was kind of dumb, so I just made one instead. He took a Medford knife and tool Praetorian tie, their big bad Mama Gemma, the mothership of all Medford knives, sent it out somewhere, had it all Cerakoted. I think they Cerakoted. I don't know. And it is a great looking donut knife. What really got me, CPM, was the freaking pocket clip. I didn't see that in the first pictures that you sent me, but then you did like a little Instagram reel thing where you turn it around, and that red pocket clip, you killed it.
Yeah, and then my coworker did a Microtech custom or a production Hera OTF, and he did the blade purple and with a pink handle. He did like the 2 screws, 2 different colors, look like sprinkles.
Oh, that's the video that you sent me.
Yeah.
He made that? That wasn't the Microtech one that they offered?
No, that was done by a completely independent guy. That's a production
I
guy.
thought when you sent me the video, I thought that was just the donut knife that Blade HQ offered.
Nope, that one was made. That one was custom made.
Okay. Yeah, look good.
I think that was like that project was $600 all in.
This is a great one, Adamas. Yeah, $600. Make your own donut knife. Right. I don't even want to know what CPM spent to have his done, but it's fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, because of my video yesterday, everybody blew up with the Rosie one, and I guess that's a problem too. And we can't fix the problem, but my opinion on the Rosie one, because I think they do like a lotto every week or something, just make it so the same person can't win for 30 or 60 days. Like on like radio stations back in the day when you used to call in for tickets. Or am I the only old guy that used to do that for concert tickets? You can only win 1 in 30 days. Right. I think the lottos, I think they should do something like that because I know the Rosie thing is a problem.
Yeah.
To me, it might not be a problem to you guys. I'm nobody. I'm just some average guy that spent way too much money on a camera and like software and stuff to make a YouTube channel. I just some knucklehead guy.
Speak for yourself, man. I'm cool.
Let's see. What does Will B says? When I was at River's Edge Cutlery in August, I saw a Sabenza that someone had done the full Desert Warrior treatment to. Oh dude. I never saw that one. I never saw a picture of a Sabenza that way. That would be cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
And Lux says Rosie secondary prices are coming down. He got a mini FSD, which is the brown knives, at table price.
Well, with brown knives, I'm on his mailer. You just have to be on the mailer and make sure because he sells his knives through email, is how he does his. So basically, when the link goes up, he'll give you a time and date of when they're dropping, and then you prep for that, and then you make sure you have all your shit lined up, and so that when the link comes in, you just buy, prep, and he's going to show you the picture of the ones that are coming, what features are going to have on it, and all that stuff. Sometimes he even shows you pictures of them before. So that's how he sells his knives. It's hard as hell to get one that way, but I bought an Exponent that way back in the day from him.
Okay.
And, I think it's fair. It's tough, but it's fair.
And that's kind of how they do the Saga pens.
Right.
Same way. Like, So, and I think Derek has a good point. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ways to cheat the system. People are very critical. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
no matter what measures you might put in place, in today's world, it's easy to just create a new Gmail account or a new Yahoo account or technology is great so that we can have this conversation kind of live and in person, but technology also sucks.
Yeah. Well, all's fair in love and war.
Yeah, like I said in my video also, and I've always said, there is a ton of great people in this knife community.
Yep.
And specifically in my little tiny world and Alex's and I's little tiny EDC hour that we can't even get 500 subscribers for, but whatever. There's great people. Yes, there's some idiot jerk-offs in the community, but it's a small percentage. So I love this community. I love most of all the people. For me, it's really about the interaction, the emails I get, the comments that I have on my videos that I tried to respond to every comment. If I missed your comment, sometimes it's hard to keep track, but I do try to respond to every comment. It takes a lot of work, but I do. And then the emails and the Facebooks and the Instagram messages, all that stuff. I love it. It's fun. I've built a lot of good relationships and friendships with people I've never met and probably will never meet because a lot of them in other countries.
I have to remind you about something.
All right.
You're supposed to be doing a giveaway on this video.
I am supposed to do a giveaway, and I have it up here on the other screen. So when I did, well, let's just jump right into that really quick.
Yeah,
so
man.
I did a video recently, an unboxing on Oreo cookies. Did anybody watch that? You're supposed to be watching here to be part of the video of the giveaway, but we're going to just do it anyway. But it was an unboxing of Oreo cookies, double stuff, mega stuff, and the most Oreo cookie cream filling inside of the Oreo cookie. I thought it was fun, but because I made you guys watch that, because I posted that and it wasn't really knife related, I said, hey, because if you watched all the way to the end, I'm going to give away this Schrade Uproar, I think is what it's called.
Oh, that's nice.
It's from their Delta class, I think. It's not the US made Alpha class. It's not a bad little OTF. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't remember. Is it D2 or is it 14? I don't remember. I probably won't be able to see. But I don't know. I figured I'd give this away. I probably got a couple other things I'd put in a box and send off. So I did. Let me just add this to the stream here. This is the random comment picker. I already put the video in from people that made comments on it. I've got to go here and do their little thing to get the comments. There's 29 comments. And I think over here somewhere is the star button. They're supposed to be in the US because it's an OTF. And they're supposed to be watching this video, but whatever. Let's just see.
I'm in this shit too, mofo. There we go.
Rick Adkins. He loves double stuffed lemon. I don't really like the lemon versions myself.
I have not tried those.
And in all honesty, the most Oreo that I did the video on, which prompted the video with the cookies and cream and the filling, I like the regular Mega better. It's like almost too chocolatey. It's not exactly what I had anticipated. So Rick Adkin, if you're here, chime in. I will post a comment on his comment in the other video, and I will get you this OTF. And if he never responds back, because that happens often, I'll just figure it out and we'll give it away again some other time. But yeah,
sounds good.
Derek says lots of great people in the community. There are a few bad apples, but the overwhelming majority are good, at least in his experience from being a maker, and that's awesome. And Derek, thanks for kind of chiming in today. It was great to have you here. We're not done, but we're almost done. It's been an hour.
The maker's perspective is always a good one. I'm always interested in that one.
Your cookies bring all the boys to the yard. It didn't get as many video views as I thought it would, so it didn't bring all the boys. Just brought some of the boys.
Now that wait, before we're on the topic, by the way, we're not done with this yet, because you and I had a conversation about this and you said something that hurt my feelings.
I said something to hurt your feelings?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
which
one are we talking about?
You said that hazelnut chocolate Oreos are not good.
Oh yeah, I don't like those ones.
I love those things, man. It's like Nutella with
I'm not a Nutella guy. I'm not a Nutella guy. Craig G with the Oreos.
Can somebody comment on this? Has anybody had the hazelnut Oreo cookies?
Yeah, Professor called that video the Oreo cookie masterclass, because I did talk about almost all of them. And if anybody's into the thin Oreos, you can leave this video now. You can unsubscribe. Like I don't understand what the thins are for.
No, that was a mistake. I love the thins. No, why? Definitely not. Because man, you get less cookie. Okay, it's not like overbearing. Like
you get less everything.
That's the point. Like
there's like this. It's like a piece of paper, creamy filling.
There's no need to be a glutton, Dirk. Sometimes you just want a thin one, okay? Sometimes you want a double stuffed, but
You always
sometimes you
want a
want a
double
thin
stuff.
one.
You always want a double stuff. Thomas, thanks for watching the Oreo video. I loved it.
And by the way, gents, I'm gonna have a follow-up video to this Oreo ordeal here.
Thin Oreos are for vegans. CPM, yeah, boy.
I like the thin ones too. But remember, I live in a house full of women. My daughter, my wife, and they like the thin ones. So you know what I do? I'll eat
Go get an
lots
Oreo,
of thin
Craig.
ones. I'll get lots and lots of thin ones.
And then you take the cookie off and you build your own?
Yeah, man. I do that with the thick ones too and the double stuffed. I've done up to 4 just to see what happens of the double stuffed. And it's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, the mega, you should try the megas because it's like a double stuff, if you will. And those are actually really good. Professor EDC is like the regular traditional Oreos I can't even do. It's got to be double stuff for me. Peanut butter. Luck knives. I like the peanut butter ones. How can you not like chocolate and peanut butter? I'm not a big peanut butter guy.
Ones. I've tried those. I like them. I don't love them. I won't go out of my way to buy them again, but I tried them once and I did like them. I didn't love them though. But you know, I think Oreo is one of the staple snacks in America, and so is Reese's peanut butter cups. And so that's just a little preview of like what I'm going to be talking about.
And do you guys remember Hydrox cookies? That was like the cheaper version of Oreo. It's the same thing, but it said Hydrox on it instead of Oreo.
Yes.
Like at my school in elementary school, the Oreo kids sat over here and the Hydrox kids it was kind of a thing. They kind of looked down on you if you had the Hydrox and not the Oreos. I don't know. Kids can be mean sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you're a Hydrox person, no judgment here. You're welcome in my world.
We're getting way too ethnic about cookies.
I take my Oreos seriously, folks. I don't know what to tell you.
I like to be non-binary and dip mine in milk.
I am not a big cookie dunker person. It's too soggy. You get your fingers all gross. Like that's just not my thing.
No, you got to do it right away. It's just supposed to wet the whistle. It's not supposed to be like you let it sit in there too long and gets soggy and then it gets in your milk.
You got to hold it under until the bubbles stop coming. Oh, wait, never mind. That's a different topic. Sorry. Never mind. Okay, on that note, I think we have I didn't even flip over the hourglass. I haven't on the last few, but I just throw it on the desk or on the table back here for looks nowadays because I think we've got it kind of figured out.
Oh, shameless plug. I'm going to throw it in here too.
Please.
I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers. So, you know, giveaways coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to tip over 2K. And
do
for
you know
Alex, that's pretty good because I work at snail speed when it comes on YouTube.
Yeah. Do you know what you might be giving away yet or no?
I haven't figured it out, but it's got to be something. I'm thinking it's going to probably be a blade and a watch.
Arch Nemesis.
No. I'll give it away for an $8,000 raffle.
CPM. Me and CPM were on the same page. Are you giving away the Arch Nemesis? Yeah, Alex will figure out what he's doing. I might have some stuff I'll send down there to join his giveaway. Maybe we'll see. Like, you know, that's a big thing. Yeah. I appreciate it. And Alex is grinding them out. Alex and I are kind of different. We have a lot of same mentality, but our videos are totally different. I do a video every day, which is a lot of freaking work. And I don't know why I agreed and signed up to do that, but hey, whatever. And I don't edit mine. Like I just roll with it. Every once in a while I throw a picture in. And then, but you guys will hear me cough on it or like stuff. Like I just leave it. Like it's just raw with me. Kind of open book. Alex spends 8, 9, 10 hours editing a 15-minute video sometimes. I applaud it. Like that's the only reason I've edited videos is because of Alex. he's told me how to put pictures in and some stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. So
I think it's fun, it's just like a little
Luck Knives can send you some stuff for your giveaway. Luck Knives hasn't even offered to send me his custom made knives to review and try to get his name out there yet. But yet now he wants to send you some stuff to give away. I'll send it back. I just want to check your shit out, man. What else?
I'm in.
So please. In the description is a link to Alex's main channel and my main channel always. So please go check us out over there. I'm guessing everybody here found us from our main channels.
Of course.
So, but if you've got 2,000 subscribers and I got like 6,000, how come we only got 400 here?
Well,
I'm just saying.
I don't know,
just saying.
That's another mention. If you're not subscribed to this channel, you should be.
Just saying, kind of throwing it out there, guys. I really only want to get, I'd like to get to 1,000 so they could monetize maybe, but I kind of want to get to 500 so I could use the community tab and like say, hey, we're not going to be on this week because of X, or hey, we are going to be on this week because we're doing something. That's really what I like to get to 500 so we could use that little community tab and make some kind of posts. But
so hit that like button, and if you're listening to this later on, make sure you subscribe to our EDC Hour channel, because we do appreciate you being subscribed to our other channel. But we're going to try to grow this thing a little bit more, maybe do some merch, maybe around 1,000-ish, right? Like some shirts and stickers.
Yeah, we've thought about some logos. A friend of ours kind of threw a logo thing together, and we kind of working on a logo-ish.
And if you guys have some ideas for logo stuff, by all means,
reach out. And then here's another question, and you can leave comments. And we always intended to actually go onto podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple Play, like all those, like literally listen podcast things. Would that be interesting? Would you guys listen to that in the car? If you missed the live, would you listen to that in the car? Other than my one friend who listens in his patrol car as he's cruising around. Because we may do that in 2023 and start throwing that stuff up in, whatever that is, all the Spotify places. So, just something to think about. Give us your feedback on.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we appreciate the input of everyone, as this is a big community of a lot of different personalities, different mindsets and things.
For sure.
I enjoy that, so we're always down for some feedback from you guys, topics.
Yep.
People, if you want to jump on, let us know. We have a list of people we're trying to get through. As a matter of fact, I think we need to get Stang Bladeworks on pretty soon. We're overdue on him.
Yeah, and if you have a maker and it's not just makers that we have on, like if there's somebody that you would like to see on, a maker, a distributor, a retailer, somebody that works at the metalworking place, somebody that works for the carbon fiber plate, like shoot us ideas, because we don't know everybody. We know the makers that we want. We know some of the high-end collectors that we want, but who do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
Or is there somebody that we're not even aware of that we should be reaching out to and talking to? And if you guys want to come on, let us know too. We've had a couple of viewers on before. That's always fun as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Be on your A game if you do.
Yep. And on that note, I think we're pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah, man. I think that was a pretty fun episode, and I had a great time kind of just
I think we bounced around a little bit. So for you type A organized people, I apologize for that. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. And go check out our main channels.
See you guys.